Hello, everyone. This is Natalia Ito, and I'm a CPA with Colorado Business CPA. And we help small business owners to save money on taxes, and then we also help them with investment strategies and how to become more successful. In this video, we'll talk about the COVID-19 stimulus package and how it relates to the employee retention tax credit. And it became popular after this bill was signed into, the new law was signed on the 27th of December, because before a lot of business owners would not qualify for the employee retention credit because pretty much a lot of them applied for the PPP loan. And if you have a PPP loan, you did not qualify for their employee retention credit, but this bill actually amended that, and you can also qualify for employee retention credit despite the fact that you got a PPP loan. So we'll talk about this in a little bit shortly. If you would like this video, please like us, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, again, we are a full service CPA firm. We offer small packages for the business owners, and our number is 1-800-50-40-CPA, and we are a Colorado Business CPA. So let's talk about this credit. So the credit basically, became effective for business owners, on March 12, 2020 until, the original law, from March 20, 2020, 12, 2020 to January 1st, 2021. Well, the new law actually extended this credit by 2 more quarters of 2021. So basically you can qualify for the 2020, from March 12th until December, and you will qualify for a 50% credit provided that your gross receipts went down by 50% or more. And then for starting January 1st, 2021 until July 1st, 2021, you can qualify up to 70% credit provided your gross receipts went down 20% or more. So let's just talk a little bit more. So originally, as I said, originally, and it's basically applicable for the year of 2020, you can get a credit of 50% of the qualified wages paid to the employee, 50%. The new law, which basically you can retroactively kind of changes, amends the 2020, but also, changes, extends extends by 2 more quarters of 2021, says that this credit now is increased to 70% of qualified wages, and it also included the health benefits. So again, the maximum credit for 2020, you can get a $5,000 for all qualified wages, $5,000 per employee, the maximum per quarter, pretty much, right? And the new law now has increased to $7,000 per quarter, so first quarter of 2021 and the second quarter of 2021. Maximum is up to $7,000 credit per employee, so which is really, really significant, right? So how do you claim those credits? You claim those credits by filing Form 941, and you claim it on, for the credits applicable to you in 2020, you can claim it in the 4th quarter of Form 941 for the 4th quarter of 2020. And then, and then of course, the credits for the 1st quarter and 2nd quarter of 2021, you can claim on Form 941 for the 2021. So originally, as I said, which will be applicable for 2020, basically the businesses who had to close their operations or partially or fully close their operations, and when their gross revenue went down, gross receipts went down by 50% or more, would qualify for this credit in 2020. And now, starting January 1st, the business operations that are fully or partially suspended due to COVID-19, and if their gross revenues went down by 20% or more, they will qualify. So, and then also, and originally would only applicable to 100 employees or fewer than 100 employees. In the new law, it actually up to 500 employees or fewer. So basically they increased the threshold. And then what's the most important thing is the PPP loan eligibility, which I already just, already told you about. Basically, as I said, in the original law, it says, if you receive the PPP loan, you did not qualify for the employee retention credit. And a lot of business owners like, okay, well, I don't want any credit. I just want to get a PPP loan, right? Well, now it's just changed, and that's a great news again. You can still qualify for employee retention credit despite the fact that you got a PPP loan. But the only difference is you cannot use the expenses that you allocated to the PPP loan, like salaries and wages and the payroll taxes you paid with the PPP loan proceeds. You cannot use these amounts as part of the calculation. So there's like no double dipping, right? But of course, a lot of business owners says, yes, I got a PPP loan and it only covered a month and a half of my expenses, but I have a quarter. I have a second quarter. So you just have to subtract salaries and wages. You cannot include the ones that you paid with a PPP loan, but then you can continue and then do the calculation. So the calculations are going to be very interesting. And so I obviously I encourage you to really look into it. Talk to your CPA, talk to your bookkeeper, talk to your payroll specialist. Make sure that all those numbers are recorded correctly, right? So, and then also another thing is that the government now says, well, we can actually issue you the advance payments for 2021 for the first and the second quarter, despite the fact that you have not even run the wages yet, and obviously you haven't paid taxes. We can kind of like calculate based on your 2019 year calculations and give you advanced tax credits. And then once once the actual wages are paid and taxes are paid, then we'll recalculate and whether you might owe money to the IRS or IRS might owe you money. So what's the action plan? Again, this is a very lucrative tax credit for business owners who continued paying to their employees despite the fact that their businesses went down by 50% or more or 20% or more. So what do you need to do? First, you need to discuss your situation with a CPA or payroll specialist, whoever runs your payroll, and the second thing is, again, wait until the IRS will come up with a much clear guidance on how to do the calculations properly, because obviously it's going to probably take a week or two, and today is January 2nd, so it's probably going to take a couple of weeks, no more than a couple of weeks, so make sure you record numbers correctly. If you have already filed the form 941 for the fourth quarter, you can amend it, and then put the credits there. You can also use the form 7200 for that matter, but again, I would probably just say use form 941 and then amend if you have to. Also, make sure your financial statements are ready and make sure they are up to date, your profits and loss, because in order for you to qualify either for the second round of PPP loan, which is coming, or employee retention credit, you are going to be comparing the gross receipts from 2020 to 2019 per quarter. So you want to make sure your financials are ready. And again, you want to make sure you update them on an ongoing basis, because if you want to qualify for the first and the second quarter of 2021, you want to make sure your financial statements are up to date as you file a payroll reports, for the first and second quarter. You make sure, your gross receipts are calculated, so you're comparing the numbers to the previous year, and you want to make sure, you do qualify for those credits. And again, when I remember when we had to, when the PPP loan, original PPP loan, remember, came out, and they say, okay, well, all the payroll expenses that were related to, the PPP loan proceeds had to be separated, and I remember, we put in a wages, paid, from the PPP loan proceeds, wages, salaries, payroll taxes, PPP, from PPP proceeds, and then other ones. And now this information becomes very handy, because remember, you cannot use the wages and the payroll taxes you paid with a loan, PPP loan proceeds, and you cannot use those wages to apply against that, employee applied with, for employee retention credit. So again, separate those payroll expenses if you haven't done so. Make sure you're not double dipping, make sure your gross receipts, up to date, make sure you do qualify for the employee retention credit. And again, the second round of PPP loan is coming up very shortly. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact our firm. We are Colorado Business CPA, 1-800-5040, 272-1-800-5040 CPA. If you like this video, please, please like this video, and also please subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to leave those questions and comments, below the video, and we will gladly respond. And have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.